Good morning, everyone. This is Tony from Her Homestead Skills. I'm in my kitchen today. I'm going to make my nougat candy, and I've got all the ingredients laid out on the table. I'll go through that. I'm probably not going to give you exact measurements today. This is a recipe that is fairly new to me, so I'm just testing it out myself. Anyway, let's get started. Okay, so I have prepared the ingredients that I'm going to need to make my nougat candy. Okay, first of all, for ingredients, I have almonds and hazelnuts here. Now, traditionally, I think that pistachios are used, but you can use mixed nuts as well. So what we're going to do is we're going to heat these up. We want to lightly roast them and then keep them warm after that. So they're going to go in the oven right now. Next and very important thing is that the tray has been covered in saran wrap, plastic wrap, so that this is a sticky candy and you want to be able to get it out of the tray easily. So I have totally coated the tray with plastic wrap, and then I have one layer of my wafer paper at the bottom. I have the wafer paper comes in a larger size, so I have cut and I'll be able to use another piece for the top. Trying not to waste it, so I'll use those two pieces. So one layer at the bottom and more set aside to put on the top. I have an egg white, should be room temperature, lemon zest, sugar. Okay, let's see if we can bring this up closer now. Honey, pinch of salt, and some vanilla. I think that is all the ingredients. Yes, it is. Okay, so now we'll move over to the stove. Making this candy is a bit of a long and involved process. So the first thing we're going to do is put our sugar in the bowl, and we want to melt that. And we don't want this to stick or burn. So you do this at a very low temperature. Okay, now my sugar has almost melted, and I do prefer to melt the sugar down before I add the honey. You can do it both at the same time, but it's going to take longer for it to melt, I would think. Now, I've also seen some recipes where they add water to this, but the recipe I'm using does not have any water added. So this is almost, the sugar has almost melted, and when it has, then I'm going to add the honey to this. I would like to wait until there's no sugar chunks left. As you can see, there's still a couple of them there. Okay. Okay, I've added my honey, and we're going to stir and cook this for 30 minutes. Now, get it up to a temperature of 140 or 150. Apparently 150 if you want a harder nougat. Okay, so we continue to stir this for a good 30 minutes. Okay, my honey sugar mixture has been cooking for over 30 minutes, and I believe it's ready. So at this point, I'm going to take it off the heat for a little while I prepare the eggs. So what we do now is we whip up the egg white until it's frothy. Okay, I think that's at the stage where we want it. Now we put the sugar honey mixture back on the heat. And we slowly mix in a bit of this at a time. Okay, I've got my vanilla, my salt, and my lemon zest in here, all mixed up very well. And now I'm just going to move everything over to the table. I have my nuts in a bowl. Normally you would pour the nuts in this container, but I wanted to do it the other way, put it in a bowl. And I have the nuts and the bowl all warm so that this does not harden up too quickly. So I'm going to move everything over to the table now, and then I'm going to mix it all up and pour it into my tray that I have ready. Okay, I've poured it into my tray, and now I've put the other layer of paper on top, and I am just pressing it all in, trying not to break the paper, but it doesn't really matter. Okay, so get it all nice and firm there, and now we just let this cool for a couple of hours. Well, you may notice that the tray is a little bit larger than the one I was working with earlier. Basically what happened is that my camera lost a video, or I don't know what happened. Perhaps I didn't hit the record button, so I did a smaller batch again this morning, and this is the one I had prepared yesterday originally. So as you can see, I'm now taking it out of the container, and we're going to cut this up a bit. And yes, the saran wrap is pretty much necessary. This is still a soft nougat. It isn't terribly hard, soft and chewy, and it is very tasty. It is very nice. It is a lot of work. I don't know that I would make this again, so I've made it twice now. I've made the larger one, as you can see here, and then I made a smaller one again this morning. So there are different variations. In the past I've made them with marshmallows. I wouldn't necessarily call it a nougat. This one is made with eggs, or egg whites, and it is very lovely. I do like it a bit more on the firm side myself, but it's still very nice. Some people prefer it on the soft and chewy side. So, but now I'm just going to cut this up into wedges and wrap it up and put it away for the day. Okay, I've actually created this recipe twice now, and struggled with it both times to some degree, various reasons, which probably don't show up in the videos. It is not the easiest project in the world to make. It's not the easiest candy to make. I thoroughly enjoy it. I don't know if I'll make it again. If I have, at least I've learned something. You know, if I decide to, at least I've learned something from this experience. I am just cutting it into large wedges for the time being, and after that those would be cut into little squares and served that way. Now the wafer paper that I was looking for, there's a very substantial reason for using it, and that is because this is a very sticky candy, and the wafer paper allows you to pick it up and hold it. You know, it is on both sides of the candy, so the sticky part stays inside, and you don't get, you know, you can actually pick this up. The wafer paper is edible, and it is made specifically for things of this nature. So here I'm just going to wrap these up for the time being and then put them away. Certainly don't want to eat them all. I'm eating the little bits for sure. Anyway, this is Tony from Her Homestead Skills. I hope you enjoyed this video. I'm not going to give out a recipe. If you're interested in it, I'm sure that you can find recipes on the internet. It was a difficult one for me to make. That doesn't mean it'll be difficult for you if you're interested in it. But very tasty, and it is mostly honey. There's definitely a bit of sugar, but it's a mostly honey, which is, you know, some people might say it's the same as sugar, but anyway, it's a lovely treat. This is Tony from Her Homestead Skills. Hope you enjoyed this video, and we'll catch you on the next one.